Hello and welcome back to Let's Play XCOM. Last time we destroyed the aliens' base, so today we're going to find out what happens when you mildly annoy a technologically and numerically superior invading force. Let's get started. So last time we managed to pick ourselves up a couple spoils of war, so like I said, I am going to switch the research project for the Titan armor over to the Sectoid Commander Autopsy.
This is an extremely dangerous species, Commander. Although not physically intimidating, the psionic power that this creature wields is perhaps the greatest threat we've encountered so far.
Our cybersuits have faced the trials of battle and were proven effective. As we continue to deploy our mech troopers, they will grow more accustomed to the suits. And if fortune is with us, help put an end to this conflict.
Yeah, that's nice. Anyway, Foundry projects. First of all, finally have enough Mutorn corpses to get the ammo conservation. Basically what this is going to do is going to double the magazine size for every single weapon that we have, mechs included. It's not going to count for the special weapons such as the rocket launchers, however, it's just their main weapons. Advanced servo motors, definitely want to give Cynox some more mobility because I've noticed more often than not he seems to be just 1 or 2 squares out of range for a punch, and I really want to be using his melee attack to the greatest efficacy that I can. Improve Pistol 1 because if Skyder is going to be running around with the pistol on the covert missions, I want him to have the greatest advantage possible. It might screw me over a little bit on captures because I usually use the pistols to try and just weaken the aliens, but that's okay. And Shaped Armor, again for Cynox, I want to improve his survivability because he can't use cover and he is a very attractive target. I think the AI might be a little bit coded towards focusing on the mech trooper, so I definitely want to keep him alive because I've put a lot of resources into him. And about this time I noticed I only have about 7 units of power left, and I know for a fact I'll be building at least 2 power heavy facilities in the near future, so I decided to go for a thermal generator. I'm really bad with finances. Like, we're down to 44 credits already. I don't know what the hell's wrong with me. Anyway, let's see what's inside that commander that we bagged. So a few more things for construction now. The most important thing being the psionic labs. I'll talk about that a bit more once we actually get it built. Just know for now it's something that, if you're following along, you want to build that thing as soon as you can. The Mimic Beacon, I've never personally used it. I think it's a lot better in the second game, but I didn't play around with it in that one either. Speaking of which, if you don't have XCOM 2, go get it. It's fucking amazing. Neural feedback. Generally, I don't use it. As you saw, it doesn't decrease the odds of success of a psionic attack, so there's really no benefit to it, in my opinion.
The work that we've done here to adapt the technology of a hostile enemy force has advanced the scientific progress of mankind by untold generations. These weapons, these abuses of science, we still have an opportunity to use them for a greater good. We have paid a heavy price, but our efforts have not been in vain.
Yeah, that's nice. Anyway, time to sell everything I own. Yeah, I shouldn't be in charge of XCOM finances anymore. Anyway, the psionic labs are building. We got 2 weeks until they're done, so let's just crack on. Hopefully we can get some of these Foundry projects done before anything crops up in the world. And I just left this in here just to show that reward. That's literally the most I've ever seen in the game. I didn't even know that they could ask for that much stuff. I thought it was just 3 or 4 of them. Ah, fuck. Although I know Terra missions are pretty random, I can't help but think this is a direct retaliation for what we just did, so excuse the jump while I get my forces ready. As you can see, I'm bringing along as much heavy firepower as I can. I do have a hill with the arc thrower. I know it's not the best idea on the Terra mission, but I pretty much just have it for me to bring it along on one of my assaults, at least in the early to mid-game.
We have visual on the mission site. Setting down.
We're heading into China for the next operation. The aliens are continuing their incursions into highly populated areas. We can't allow further civilian casualties to spread panic in the region.
Alright, a quick skip past the loading. You've seen all this already, and let's just get on the ground. And then we wait for the opening dialogue to load, and...
Central, Strike 1 is locked and loaded, awaiting drop orders.
Affirmative, Big Sky. Squad is cleared to engage hostile targets. Watch your fire out there. We have civilians on the ground. Repeat, civilians are in the AO.
Well, fortunately, our first civilian is right next to us, and if we save at least one, then the mission won't be a total bust, as decided by the game, so we'll just get Cyanox up there, get her out of there, and we should be good to keep sweeping. Uh-oh. Well, I can honestly say that's the quickest I've ever found chrysalids on one of these missions. Fortunately, one decides that he's very intrigued by the 8-foot tall mech. Go for the eye, Cyanox. Attaboy. And a promotion. Finally, our mech is starting to definitely come into his own. In the meanwhile, we'll just send a couple of more of our soldiers up, and I'll try and get a line of sight through that building. I'm actually kind of happy that we awakened the first chrysalid pod right now, because I don't want them running around killing civilians, at least not off camera. So if I can get them to run up to me, then it's not such a big deal. I mean, they don't use cover either, and I've got pretty good weapons by now, so it shouldn't be too much of a pain in the ass. So we'll just open the door, get line of sight.
Look sharp. Enemies rolling up.
What's a swear word? Okay, so that's the second chrysalid. That's 4 crit. That's a lot of crap. So at this point I realize I need to get a lot more soldiers up next to Cyanox, otherwise he might be about to tank 2 melee hits, and chrysalids hurt a lot. Like, I forget if any of my soldiers have been hit by them before, but well, you'll see what happens later on in this mission. And unfortunately that wall's right in the way, and there's no real way I can kill all the crystals before they hit down any of my soldiers. Any of the civilians, or even go after my soldiers. Fortunately, a hill can take this one out with rapid fire to the face. And yeah, you can see that those things can tank a light plasma rifle, so not in the best of situations right now. And Skyder, he does have eyes on one of them, and I probably should have taken this shot. And I'm also just trying to suss out his main, his range on the alien grenade, because I kind of have a sneaky idea. For those of you who have played this game before, you know that you can fiddle with the area of effect of grenades and rockets pretty much down to the pixel. You can't do that in the second game, unfortunately. It's locked to the actual grid. But in this game, as you can see, you can move it by basically centimeters. And with a little fine-tuning, we can find the sweet spot where it's actually going to hit both of those chrysalids and not the civilian next to them. And as a bonus, I'll take out some more of the cover further up the street, so hopefully that we can use that to take out the other chrysalid on the next turn. And thankfully Hill also has a grenade, and she's in a great spot. And a little more tweaking. Hopefully she can just get it around that other wall, and we find the sweet spot where the crystals are hit and civilians are not. And that's 2 more down. So we'll move Smots up. Unfortunately, he doesn't have eyes on, so we'll just set him on Overwatch. Hopefully one of the chrysalids will decide that it likes the big shiny mech more than a civilian. Skyder will score an Overwatch so he can snipe. And unfortunately, no, they don't like the big shiny mech. Yo. And that sounds like a cyber disc nearby. That's just fantastic. And that leaves Hill, unfortunately, only at half ammo due to the rapid fire. But it looks like there's only the one chrysalid left.
Moving out. Contact.
So we should be able to take it out. Oh my god. No, why? Why? Because that's XCOM, that's why. Anyway, the good news is all my soldiers have their turns. The bad news is 5 out of 6 of them are on the exact wrong side of the wall. And there's no way to get through there without explosives. But I need the explosives to take out the chrysalids without too much collateral damage, ironically enough. So I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do. I know that with the assault, she can rapid fire the chrysalid next to her. I'm more concerned about my soldiers' health than the civilians right now, because I know for a fact I'm going to lose at least one more. There's not much I can do about that, so we'll just try and move Synox up, see what kind of a aim chance he's got on these things. Pretty good chance to hit that one, although I think I'll let Hill take that one out. Not the best on the others, unfortunately. A little better than the coin flip, but not too sure. We'll see if we can maybe save this civilian's life. Apparently not. Well, fuck that guy anyway. And because ammo conservation isn't done yet, Synox unfortunately is now out of ammo. Fortunately, the one next to Hill, she still has a 100% chance to hit it, so that one will die this turn.
Dead and gone. Ammo's out.
And for the curious, yes, I am keeping track of how many chrysalids and who's killed who, and I'll give you a final tally at the end of the mission. Meanwhile, don't really have much of an option right now to take out that chrysalid. Drydelin doesn't have the ability to fire twice. I don't have anything even resembling line of sight for a rocket. Like, I'm just kind of checking, maybe see if I can take out that one's cover, the one on the left, but it's more blocked than I like, and if she misses, she's going to kill at least one civilian, and I'm really not in the mood for that. So we'll move Smots up. That should give him line of sight into the building, and indeed it does, on the leftmost chrysalid. I'm kind of figuring the rightmost one will just kill the civilian, so I'm not too worried about my soldiers. But I'm riding on the cusp of an excellent rating for civilians saved, so we'll see if we can get this civvy out of there at least. So if all I lose is just that guy by the chrysalid, I'll be sitting pretty, fortunately. Now I've got a pretty good chance to hit with both of my heavies, and we'll see if we can move Drydelin up as well. If we can get 3 shots in on that leftmost chrysalid, then there's just the right one left to worry about. And unfortunately, poor Skyder is stuck all the way back here. Perils of being a sniper on an urban map, I'm afraid. But, well, that's why I gave him the covert operative tag, because I felt kind of sorry for him. Anyway, no chance to hit him with the alien grenade. Unfortunately, the pistol, he can't get to the chrysalid either, so we'll just put him on Overwatch. Now, Drydelin has a very good chance to hit both of the chrysalids. He won't kill either of them, and both the heavies can only see one chrysalid, and it's only at about a 72% chance to hit. So I'm thinking I'll probably fire with the heavies first. That way, if both of them kill it, Drydelin can at least put some heat on the chrysalid over by the civilian, and we can kill it on the next turn for sure. And fortunately, both of my heavies do come out smiling there. So that leaves Drydelin free to take a pot shot at the one over by the civilian. 0% chance for a critical, unfortunately, but we can take the thing out by a stiff breeze on the next turn.
As unprofessional as it sounds, the bite seems to have turned him into a zombie.
Oh yeah, this didn't happen last time. Yeah, on the turn after a chrysalid kills any human, the human comes back as a 10 HP zombie. At least if you don't finish the mission by then. On this difficulty level, they won't come back as zombies if they died off camera, but on higher difficulty levels, they actually will. So if you're not fast enough in taking out the chrysalids, then you will actually face a zombie horde. And as it's not likely to happen on my run, because I'm really good at killing the chrysalids, I'll just spoil it that if you don't kill the zombies in time, they will hatch a chrysalid out of themselves. So, you know.
Bye-bye.
Fuck chrysalids.
I'm on the move.
The good news is the first zombie to rise is just within range of Cyanox's Fists of Justice, so we'll just
Engaging.
take him out right now and worry about the next one on the next turn. Now, here I make a bit of a mistake. I was going to reload and then move her. I completely forgot in this game that reloading immediately ends your turn regardless of how many action points you have left, whereas in XCOM 2, it only takes one action point no matter what, so you can actually reload then fire in that game. In this game you can't, so, oops. Now, I'm wondering if I should be running over there to save that civilian, because at this point I'm incredibly gun-shy about more chrysalids showing up. But then I kind of figure, you know what, most of the aliens are probably going to be more up and to the right or the left of my position, so I'm not too worried that something's going to sneak around behind, at least not right now. Fortunately, we're still in the range of an excellent job on the civilians, and yeah, that zombie gets up. They don't move very far, but 10 HP is a scary amount, especially for this stage of the game. And, well, you'll see what kind of damage they can do in the next 2 seconds. Yeah, that's comparable, if not worse, than a chrysalid. That thing just poisoned one of my soldiers and dealt well over half of her health in one blow. If she wasn't wearing carapace armor, more than likely she would be dead. So that's what I brought along the medkit for.
I'm on the move.
And I'm just gonna move this guy up, see if we can feed him a kill. Yeah, there's no way that he won't.
Got him.
So with his laser, sniper rifle, pistol, glitch combination, that should be the end of the chrysalid threat.
Aye, Commander.
Wow, that kind of sort of sucked.
You'll be fine.
And we'll quickly patch up our soldier and move on. A bit of an upcoming jump cut because literally nothing happened for like 10 minutes while I hunted down the last alien pod, and believe me, you didn't want to see that even on fast motion. So mostly I just moved up and then eventually crossed the street when I found out where they were coming from, and yeah, there's that cyber disc. And as you can see up there in the top right, a few more civilians died thanks to that asshole robot, so we're gonna get a pretty shitty rank on this mission, but at this point I'm long past caring. So Cyberdisc is on Overwatch, so I can't move up too close without triggering it with Hill's light lightning reflexes, at least to save my soldiers from getting hurt. Can't see the disc from here, so I'm kind of worried that maybe it's not going to trigger on Overwatch. I didn't want to move her too far forward because if I can't see an enemy, then I can't tell if that enemy's flanking a cover or not, so the cover all looks valid,
On the move.
but I don't know if it is or not, so I decided to move her up just a little bit. Unfortunately, that didn't trigger the Overwatch shot. So we'll see at the very least if we can take out the drone.
About to start keeping score.
I'll scratch one alien quadcopter. In the meantime, get Smots up there, try and get him to provide a little bit of backup, and I'm wondering if I should just sprint Cyanox up, have him tank the Overwatch shot. Because I don't want that Cyberdust to either move out of position, kill another civilian, or worse, throw a grenade or something. I was hoping to maybe break its cover, that might render it visible. Unfortunately, collateral damage doesn't reach quite as far as I'd like. I also would love to get that civilian out of here. Unfortunately, turns out it's within one space of the civilian, no matter what the size of their stupid circle is.
Let's do this.
So that was a wasted move. I just get pissed off and just reload her. So I'm going to throw a bit of caution to the wind here and try and get Dryland up on the side. He does get eyes on the cyber disc, which is great. He doesn't trigger its overwatch, which is also good, but I just decided to go for a suppression shot because that way if I have to trigger its overwatch with something else, it's got a much less chance to hit, and if it decides to move, it will incur the Wrath of Dread. So I figure this is the best move for right now. Synox, I really want to move him up, but I know for a fact that that thing is still on overwatch. Can't even get it with a grenade, unfortunately. So I move him up just a bit, about a knight's move, and then we'll leave it at that. And Skyder will try and get him up as close as I can. I actually decided let's just get the civilian out of here before something really bad happens. Cyberdisc does take a pot shot at Dryland, misses thanks to the suppression. The drone floats up a little bit closer, also takes a pot shot, and just barely singes the paint on his armor. So with any luck, I can wrap it up this turn. Now, I'm not 100% sure if the Cyberdisc is still on Overwatch because it fired. I can never remember what units can still Overwatch after firing. Fortunately, it looks like the Cyberdisc isn't one of them. So I should be able to just get my soldiers up there and just rain enough fire to end this right now. It's just a matter of figuring out where to best position everybody so they can actually get a shot off. I would like to just throw a rocket down there, maybe take out the drone and the disc with one shot. Unfortunately, Smotz's line of sight is blocked. And I know that that's flanked, but I should be able to take out all of the units on this turn, so I'm not too worried. And it just looks like the drone's flanking him, so he should be able to take this one out. Oh yeah, Smotz, you can hit like the target the size of a basketball, but you can't hit like the 6-foot tall insect. Fantastic. Not on this map, on the previous Terra mission. Anyway. I know it's being a bit cautious, but I decided to go for a smoke here just in case both of my soldiers miss that Cyberdisc. I really don't want anybody in the hospital right now. And not quite close enough for a hit. Quick roll the dice, and he actually takes it down to just 2 HP, so even though its defense is back up now that it's closed, any one of my soldiers have no problem blinking that thing to death. Hill, I'm hoping will have a line of sight from here. She doesn't. I have literally no idea why.
I'm rolling.
Move Skyder over, hoping maybe he'll have like line of sight from the doorway. He can just blink it with his pistol. No such luck. It's looking more and more that I might end up needing that smoke. I pretty much only have one more chance to kill that thing. And that's all she wrote.
Chalk up another one.
I was hoping for a triple excellent because that reduces panic by a lot more than just a good, but whatever at this point. And yeah, one of my troops is in the hospital, and I'll also put up the chrysalid kill count for everybody. Sorry, Skyder, and sorry everybody else. I guess one of the crappiest NPCs was actually the MVP for chrysalid killing. Anyway, time to upgrade Skyder, either Opportunist to either get rid of the aim penalty on reaction shots, or Executioner, which is +10 aim against targets under 50%. I was actually touring with this one because I know that he more often than not runs around with a pistol. So he might actually have to like double tap somebody with his pistol. And then it would obviously be good because then he's got the better chance for the execution shot. But generally I find that I tend to try and like one-hit kill everything anyway, so there wouldn't be much of an opportunity for the executioner. Now for Cynox, either jet boots or one for all. I always go with jet boots here because the one for all basically means that the mech can't do much of anything. So yeah. And then there's a close combat specialist versus Bring It On. I was considering Bring It On for her just to mix it up. Like just to see maybe it's better than I thought it was. I wouldn't have to go with close combat on this assault, but I decided close combat is just way too good. Not a whole lot of spoils. I mean, more lyrium, fragments, and alloys are always good, but I can get a lot more of them from like a downed UFO. So, not a whole lot happened after we got back, so now it's just time to get these Foundry projects finished up and carry on to the next part of the mission. And that's why I love to build workshops next to each other, because we're going to get a heck of a lot of rebate. Like, we even made back some of our alloys of lyrium and $50. We can definitely do a lot with that. And in fact, we can get $60 by just throwing some crystalloid corpses out the back door. And then nothing happened. As you can see, the Foundry projects are chugging along, and then this thing shows up over the US. Fortunately, just a small scout. The interceptor should be able to take it out without too much trouble. Wow, I actually didn't know that those things died in just 2 hits. I thought it was at least 3 or 4. Anyway, so join me next time as we head up that downed UFO.